This thing on? Oh, hey, what's up? It's Kyle here. Just a reminder, my Q&A is this Sunday. I haven't gotten any questions yet. If I don't get any questions, then obviously I can't do a Q&A video. Unless you guys want me to postpone it or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, the purpose of this video is on NXT. Um, NXT R Revolution. Um, R Evolution, Revolution, whatever. Um, NXT has some funky names with their special pay per view shows. Anyway, I just wanted to do a rundown because I thought it was a solid 2 hour show. NXT Our Evolution was better than any WWE pay per view I've seen this year, with the exception of a WrestleMania and SummerSlam, which I thought were good shows from WWE. So where do I start? First, before I start, Corey Graves announced that he's retiring from wrestling, but is now going to become a commentator. It was funny because during the entire 2 hours of the show, listening to Corey Graves, be now an announcer, I kept thinking Edge. He sounds a lot like Edge when he speaks, and it really didn't occur to me as much until I started to really hear him talk in the show. Unfortunate for his career because Corey Graves is young. I've never been a big fan of him, but it's unfortunate that he gets to retire this early, as being as young as he is. But I thought he did a great job calling some of the matches with the other two announcers, Alex Riley, and I forgot the other guy. But kicking off our evolution was Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen made his debut, his long-awaited debut, or now his name's now known as Kevin Owens. This guy was fucking red hot when he came out. People knew who he was. Obviously, the fans know of his work because he was hot. He was hot. The crowd was into everything that he was doing, and he dominated C.J. Parker. Felt bad for him because C.J. Parker slapped him in the face with the palm of his hand and legitimately broke Kevin Owens' nose. But I mean, he dominated C.J. Parker. He looked great. He looked like the Kevin Steen from ROH and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and that was, I think, was what impressed me the most. Because I'm thinking WWE are going to have him come in with a little gimmick. They're going to do the whole name change, everything else. Kevin Owens, not a bad name. I believe Kevin Steen had some creative input in, just in his name, in his in-ring name. But it's the same, Kevin Steen that we've seen from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and ROH. So I'm really glad they did not tamper anything in terms of his persona, because that's where Kevin Owens shines. Still, I think one of the best big man wrestlers out today. He looked really impressive, really good. He was over like a mofo. That was really good. Next match we got into, I think it was Baron Corbin. A squash match like any other match that he's been having ever since he's debuted in NXT. I kind of want to see a little bit more because Baron Corbin, he's kind of got a little cool look to him, like a cool persona. He kind of gives me an impression of like a Kevin Nash, where he has a cool kind of look or demeanor about him. His in-ring work might not be much, which was evident to Kevin Nash. Which I also think is why they're giving him nothing but squash matches. But I kind of want to see a little bit more of Baron Corbin, because I think they could have something there with them. They've got something. I love his finisher, the End of Days. I think that's one of the starting to become one of my favorite finishers. But anyway, Baron Corbin does what he does there in the squash match. Looks like he may start a feud with Bull Dembski. We move on to the NXT tag titles. The Lucha Dragons versus the Von Villains. This is a good tag match. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. Samurai Del Sol, to me, is the man. He's another internet darling. Who is wrestling the independent scene and always shines. Looks great. Sin Cara, who we know is not the original Sin Cara. Just, yeah. But anyway, it was still a solid tag team match. They won there. The next match we got into was Hideo Itami, aka Kenta, and Finn Balor, aka Prince Devitt, going up against the Ascension. This was great, and the one thing I really liked about this, kind of like just like Kevin Steen, they let Finn Balor, everything he did on the independent scene, they brought it here in WWE. He came in with the face paint, new ring gear to match. It was awesome. The fans were into it. They loved it. He and Kenta make a good team. Solid match they put on with against the Ascension. They won. So you got to figure out they're probably gonna make these guys a tag team. I would think. Then we get into the NXT Women's Title. Charlotte Flair, or Charlotte, Ric Flair's daughter, against Sasha Banks. This actually wasn't a bad match. I'm not a big fan of Sasha Banks, her wrestling ability per se. I don't think she's bad, but she hasn't really impressed me too much. I do like her gimmick. I think her gimmick is very befitting for the times that we live in now in society. Wrestling is always a reflection of the times that we live in, or counterculture to what's going on within the world today. So I think our gimmick fits, with what's going on today. This was surprisingly a solid women's match. The crowd was into it. I mean, the crowd is more invested in a women's match in NXT than they are on any Divas match on WWE. Obviously, because the women get more time and they wrestle, whereas in WWE they're potty breaks. So really impressive. Charlotte successfully defends her title. I'm trying to see what else we got going on. And then we got the main event, Sami Zayn versus my boy Adrian Neville. Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn, phenomenal match. Great chemistry. These guys had back and forth pacing. You really thought Sami Zayn was going to kind of get screwed up a bit. I mean, there were like so many different, I won't say near falls, but so many different like shenanigans, at least about 2 or 3 shenanigans that you thought it would have cost Sami Zayn, not winning the title. But at the end of the day, Sami Zayn beat Adrian Neville, 1, 2, 3, beat him clean on the mat. Got to figure Adrian Neville's going to be called up to the main roster soon. In fact, I actually heard that he's going to be called up, I think maybe sometime before or after WrestleMania. Probably better if he debuts after WrestleMania. But that kind of concerns me because look at the history of a lot of guys that come from NXT and they get onto the main roster. Bo Dallas, Biggie Langston, the Wyatt family. Who else? Even though they're trying to do something with the Wyatt family, I can't think. This is going to be saved for a different video. But just by me naming those 3, just a few, you know why I have concerns about Adrian Neville getting up to the main roster. But that'll be a separate video I will talk about in detail. Anyway, Adrian Neville won the belt, new NXT champion. Half the locker room comes out, celebrates with them. Kevin Owens comes out, gives him a hug, pats him on the back, and then all of a sudden, just boom, Kevin Owens just drops him and gives him a power bomb on the outside of the ring apron. So you gotta figure this is gonna be Sami Zayn's first title defense. It wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Owens becomes NXT champion very quickly in NXT. That would not surprise me at all, and I actually wouldn't mind it. Not saying take the belt away from Sami Zayn because he just won it. Give the Zayn a good run with the title belt. However, it wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Owens gets the NXT title within 5 months from now. It would not surprise me at all. Nevertheless, it was a solid show from top to bottom. Every match felt special. Everyone put on a great performance. This was a really, really good show. I don't care what WWE does on TLC this Sunday. NXT's Our Evolution will kick that pay-per-view's ass. Just like NXT TakeOver 2 kicked, I think it was Battleground. At the same time that NXT TakeOver 2 came out was Battleground. That show kicked that pay-per-view's ass. And they were both within the same week of one another. So Loving it. As a matter of fact, even that same night, Triple H tweeted on Twitter, says, "Can someone help me with all the? Can someone help me have a box full of brass rings?" And if you guys know what that means, that was a direct reference. If you remember this past Monday night when Vince McMahon basically said that the only person to ever grab a brass ring in WWE is John Cena. I thought that was just a complete cheap knock on the entire roster. Looks like Triple H just kind of gave his little jab saying, Vince, I don't know what you're talking about, because everyone here looks like they want to grab that brass ring. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think about NXT. What do you think of Kevin Owens' debut? What do you think about Sami Zayn being the new NXT champion? What did you think about the pay-per-view, Our Evolution? Or maybe your thoughts in the box below. Was not a pay-per-view, but an NXT special show, 2 hours, whatever. Let me know what you guys think in the box below. Comment, subscribe. Peace.